Hi everyone, this is GeoWill from Lifetime Production Squared, and we're back today to continue our developers vlog recording for DB13 for Odyssian Void. And what we're going to be working on today is kind of something removed from the game specifically, and we're going to be going more into the realm of the modding side of things. I've decided to continue to work on the modding tool some this time around, but I decided that we're going to take an entirely different direction. I'm not going to be making it in one API anymore. It's just too complicated and aggravating, and makes me want to bash my head against a titanium plated wall trying to figure out how to do the animations and whatnot. Instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making it in C# with WinForm. And I've already got quite a bit done with it. Not quite a bit, but I've got some functionality put in, basic functionality, so you can see what's going on. So WinForms are essentially just a new separate version of WinAPI in terms of how you implement using the Windows API in creating a window like this. You can do the same thing with WinAPI in C++, but you'd take, instead of taking this much code, which you just see here, to do the same thing. Of course, there's also lots of code you can't see. In the, I think it's over here, yeah. Some of it here. I think there's some in here too. No. Where's all the deeper level code here? Somewhere is the C. Here it is, yeah. Okay, so, but still, it's relatively simple. Compared to what you'd have to do for C++. Let me see. Let me open up that program so you can see it, because I still have it. Actually, I already have it opened over here. So this is what I had for the. This is basically what was in the window, the design view, if you will. This is the menu for that. So I'm essentially just copying this and adding to it for the C# version, but this is the C++ version of it. And you can see we have, that's all external. I'm going to go to main here. So you saw all this stuff over here for C#. This is this is essentially the coding for what happens in the program in terms of the handling of clicks and whatnot. This deals with just the resources, so no, we don't need that. And this is the designer stuff, so this shows the different components that are being used and how they're set up with that. And some extra code for the internal stuff, as you can see here, that just deals with a lot of the properties and other things like that for the controls. But over here in the Windows, and close this, in the WinAPI version here, this is everything you need to do similar tasks over there. Like for example, this here, all this here, this is just opening, allowing to open files. Now, if I come back over to the C# version of this, that same task that I just showed you there is accomplished by just this one little line of code here. But there is no open file dialog that you can implement properly like that in WinAPI. You have to use, if you want to have a kind of a Windows Vista styled dialog screen, you have to use the basic open file, and then you have to go through and add in all this extra crap. Now really all this stuff is doing is just telling you, well, I'll have it all commented here. So you co-create the file open dialog object. So that's just essentially creating the window control, if you will, handling the events that happen in that dialog, and then hooking it up to the dialog that you created up here, which is what happens here. So you're hooking up the event handler, setting the options for the dialog with this, and then that plays a part down here later on, or rather right here. And then you want to get the options so you don't override existing options, and then set up all these different options here. Like for example, get shell items only for file system items, or displaying only certain types of files. Then you have the set selected file type index to Word docs for this example. So in other words, when you open up the dialog box, open up the open file dialog box, it's going to default to a file type of .doc for the file type that's going to be shown. Then you show the dialog box and then obtain the results once the users click the open button on the dialog box. And then for this one, we just print out a sample of the file for testing purposes. And that's really all it does. And then all this stuff down here is what you need to handle the windows and the callbacks and all this other stuff. It's just a pain to work with because you need so much to do stuff. And let me see if it works. If I can load it up here, it's going to crash. Okay, so here's what we have. We have this here, and we've got the menu system up here, which really does nothing at this point in time, I don't think. Then we have, see, Windows mouse left button down. Are there any other? Let me see. Do I have any other things that happen like that? So that's that stuff happens. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I'm selected. Instance creation helper, common dialog. No, it's gonna be after that. Okay, here. No, it's not it. Here, left mouse button down, key down, VK escape destroy. So yeah, what I could do with this is I have it set up to use search for if a key is down on the keyboard, and if it's escape, we close the window. I think those are the only two things I have handled right now. So like if I go to, let's open this up again, if I just hit escape, closes it. That's essentially what that line of code does. That's the only other kind of thing that happens on triggered events. So test button, this is going to open up the test window. So we're going to go up to file and to, well, I don't know, where is it? How do I open that? What did I use to open that? WinMain. This is your entry point, by the way, WinMain. Also handling for errors that might happen. So ID file open DB. Go definition. Maybe declaration. No. What's going on with this? Debugs. Oh, it's debugging still. Okay, well, that might be the problem. No. Okay, well, we need to figure out how to trigger this. So let's see, Resource Explorer. Let's open this up a bit so I can see these things in there. Alright, iFile open. Okay, that's it there. I open file. So yeah, we're using the the kind of poor man's option to get the database. That's what it was. Alright, that makes sense. Let's go back to here to main. So if we go to debugging, file, connect to database. So let's go to documents first. As you can see now, we're limited to SQLite files. That's what the I think I mentioned earlier we're setting it to a specific type of file. It was a Word doc eventually before, but now it's been set to SQLite database. So we want to go to Visual Studio 2012 to projects, and then to Space Crusade 06A, and then here we have our two databases. So I can go and open it, and here we have the check just to test to make sure that the file that was selected to open is correct, and then open database option works. So that's kind of how that works, and how all that's accomplished, and how that's just so insanely more complicated than C#. And C# now, what I have so far is this Start Settings Editor button will do stuff, and so will a few other buttons up here. So let's go ahead and start it, and I'll show you what it all does. So Start Settings Editor will essentially remove all these other options off of here, all the other controls, and allow me to bring forth the the controls that will be used for editing the settings file. Let's see, settings, and you'll actually show certain controls and different controls and bring in different item information through this. Alright, so before we're so rudely interrupted by my drive dock kicking out again. Having some problems with it recently. Hopefully now it'll be working now. Updated the firmware, and supposedly what it's supposed to do, it's supposed to keep the drive from dropping out all the time, though it didn't really do anything for the USB 3 connectivity. We'll see if it works for the eSATA. So where we were at was talking about how this right now works. Let's go ahead and get started again. So we got this here. If you click on Start Settings Editor, it'll bring up the eventually we'll bring up this panel, which will have a lot of other information on it. That'll be tied to these things here. So like if I selected ship ID ranges, as I was mentioning, it'll bring up a bunch of other fields that'll be related to this. So like it'll have the high and low values for the ID ranges for the ship classes, essentially. And this will be done in a way so that any added ship classes will be taken into consideration. So it'll be kind of modular or moddable in itself, if you will. Let's go and get this back open here for examples. So now if I wanted to go back to the main menu, all I'd have to do is go to View, and hit Return to Welcome Page, and just notifying me that any unsaved changes will be lost. And how you would do that is you just go to File, Save Changes to Settings File, and you can also load it. So this is how you would load the file now. You just go to here and hit this, you get this up, and you go to wherever your INI file is located at, which won't be here for you once you start using the program. It'll be in like the LNP Games folder somewhere. And then you just click on this, open. It's the only file you can open with them. Just open it. And for testing purposes, it loads the what does it load? It's the ship, and it's the ship ID ranges. That's what it is. Ship class ID ranges. That's just for testing though. So you'd use this to save changes to it, and that's not being created yet, the functionality. But if you want to return to the welcome page, you just go up to here, hit Return to Welcome Page, click on Yes, and then this will be removed eventually, and then you'll get this back again, and you can go back and forth with this. Now, you can also get to the settings editor through here, but I haven't tied that into that function yet. You also have options, tools, help, various help information, so if you want to, there'll be a help file that you can use. Or also have a link to the forums, report a bug, troubleshooting, and just about the program itself. Tools with options. Eventually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to allow you to identify the location that your database and database files and save files at, or settings files at, so you don't have to open them all the time. And so this stuff here will be this, and then also the open database file menu option will be just null and void. You won't use that anymore. It'll just automatically open up your settings or database files that you're going to be editing. You'll also be able to edit the save database too with this, not just the database proper. So to close it, you just hit this X here, or you can go to File Close. Has the same effect. It does this too if you go through the File Close. I don't believe it does that with the. Yeah, it doesn't do that with that, so I'll have to figure out a way to do it with that. So that's kind of what I have so far. It's just about an hour and a half's worth of tinkering, as opposed to, you know, a week of messing around for the WinAPI version of this. So you can see how much easier it is to use C# in this manner with WinForms. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tie this. So I'm just going to double click this, it's going to open up this down here. So this is how you would add in new event handlers. So you just double click on the double click or do whatever you want to with the to tie into with that control over on the form, and it'll bring this over here. In this case, double clicking opens up the click. So when somebody clicks on it, on that control, whatever it is, it'll have this effect that you have coded here. Now in this case, we're not going to use this. Instead, what we're going to do is this is one of the really annoying things of C, is that you have to have, if it's listed in here in the form and it's not present in the code, the CS file, and the design form, then it's going to have that kind of an error. So what we have to do is we have to go down here to the here we go, this, and take this out of here. Or actually what we want to do is we want to tie it into what we use for this. So technically this isn't what you would do in terms of, because essentially we're hooking this up to the button click, which is this, but it's going to have the same thing, so either way I guess doesn't really matter. So now what we can do is that we have that done, we just go ahead and save it, restart, and now what we can do is, instead of doing this, we can we can go to up here and have the same effect. Boom. So you get two different ways to get to there. Now, what I want to do with this now is I want to kind of go forward in the settings editor. I want to start with that. And we're going to do some of that coding today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to first I'm going to go check a video here that I'm using for this from Dark Joker. Essentially what I want to try and do here is we use a panel so that I can hide controls when I'm not using them in not working on that particular thing in Visual Studio. So at page 1 we have the next button, then you add in a panel. Let me see. So form pages, and of course my YouTube being stupid. I don't know what's up with my connection to YouTube, it's really messed up. It doesn't load half the time properly. I have to do a actual control refresh on it. Sometimes even that doesn't work. So you see it's not loading past that point. Now if I get it before it hits that point, sometimes I can get it to load properly after that, but maybe like way back over here somewhere. No, it's not going to happen. Google claims it's my connection that's the problem. It's their servers that's the problem. Alright, so we're already past this point. So I'm going to go forward to where here we are. So text page 1, it's a label, adds a button, next. I don't know why it keeps on hiding the properties for, but okay, it auto hides. Interesting. Must be a option you can turn on. So you got that, double clicks on it, so that's going to be the handler for the next button. And that panel, I guess, is going to have connected up to, so fills the form, then has something else in that panel. Actually, I think it's two buttons, yeah. A previous and a next. So let's get past this to the actual code. That's way up here somewhere. Alright. Let me go back real fast. What was he saying to false? No, damn it, it's not far enough back. Okay, button 5, home, previous. Okay. Yeah, because those are the. Okay, so setting the panels to false visibility. Gotcha. Alright. So now, panel 1 dot visible true. Okay, so gotcha. Because what's going on here now is that we're going to be having tons of controls. I mean, it's going to be like at least 200 controls I'm planning for, or that I think are going to be required for this, because there's going to be so many different things that you can change, and it's all going to be based on this is going to have this kind of thing for this and for the editor too, database editor. So like if you want to, the database editor is going to be even more kind of grandiose, because you also have different buttons for different modes. You'll have just the base editing mode where you can go and load values from the database and then save them and edit them. Then you have one where you can just import specific information, not just the entire table. Like maybe only a specific value range, like maybe just weapons or something like that. So it's going to be very kind of complicated and exact, if you will. And so to achieve that, it's going to have a lot of controls. And what I want to be able to do is have those controls be able to kind of drop them off when I'm not working on them. The only way to do that is to that's interesting. Is to do panels that you can use to kind of hide them. So this control is actually going to be on a different panel. So this is going to be like the initial window. Then we're going to have a panel that'll be called SE panel. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's go to, where's my toolbox at? It's not down here now. Damn. Why not? View, toolbox. And no, this should be over here. Okay, there we go. So I want a panel. It's going to be underneath containers, I think. Yeah. So we're going to throw this panel in here. And we'll switch back to properties. So, like he was doing, we're going to set the If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, checking something out here. Because I have this water pitcher from here. It's allows you to filter water and then put it into a pitcher. Well, I use this thing for bringing water up here. So I just have a bunch of water to drink, so I have to keep going up and down since this is a 2-story house. And just now, a small tiny crack that, well, not really a small tiny one, it goes from the top of the thing down to the bottom, but it's like a surface crack, just kind of popped into existence while I was sitting here. And I'm just trying to figure out if it's going to be an issue, because if this thing breaks, there's going to be about a half gallon of water falling all over the place. And as everyone knows, electronics and water do not mix. It's over on the other side away from my computer, but there's a lot of stuff over here that could get ruined anyway, just all the same. Alright, so I guess we'll switch back over to alphabetize, because it's going to be easier to find things that way. What did he use? Damn. Okay, yeah. Now, panel drops it in, which I did. Now, what was the property he was changing now? Oh, dock. Okay. So that's what we want to change, is dock. Okay, there it is. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to go back to this. This is a much more, I think, organized fashion of working on things because it's not all alphabetized. It's all categorized by whatever. So dock, fill. Now let's fill up whatever space there is in the thing. Okay, yeah, so it will resize based on the window size. Okay, good. Although I think I'm going to be disabling window resizing, just because it's going to mess around with the controls. And again, if he is the flow style design, it wouldn't really matter, but I don't like making things kind of abstract in that way. I like to make them exact and concise instead of free-floating. Auto size mode, size, scale, font, auto scroll. So, this panel, which we will call SE panel. Okay. I'm going to undock it for a second because I want to pull this out and drop it into here. Okay. So this is now a element of this panel now. It's a child to this panel's parent, if you will. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take this panel and we're going to just change it to visibility to false here, if we can find out where it's at. Visible false. Okay. So it'll still come up as being not there in the beginning. Now down here, these changes here, window changes, we're going to add SE panel dot visible equals true. And that's going to display it when we click on that button or use the menu option. Then when we switch back, we want to change it back to false. So we're going to save that and test it and see what happens here. So, boom. Although the whatchamacallit's not showing up on it. That's interesting. Well, not exactly what I had in mind. Let's see. Locked, false, combo box, anchor, dock, none. Let's see. Looking for well, let's set visibility to false first of all. And the name for it was, I think, just combo box, but I'm going to change that. Yeah, here we go. So this is going to be, well, what do we call this? Well, yeah, I should use CB or CBox or something for these. Yeah, and the control name, actually put the name of the control, then whatever, but I haven't been doing that. So, CBox underscore, and then whatever this is, value, select value to import. We'll say vSelect, so value select. Panel, S editor. And C# will also, the C# editor will also automatically update references to things that you change the names for, which is awesome, really. Now, I want to figure out how to alter the change of controls parent. There's supposed to be a parent property, but I cannot figure out where it's at. So it's not in the property list here, which is interesting. That's underneath something like data bindings or application settings. Application size, let's see, oh, I see, it's a browsable, it's interesting. So, let's see. See hidden properties. Display mode. Okay, well, how do we change the display mode? I guess we'll have to go look at the thing for this. Let's see. No, I want to see. And properties window. Damn it. Let's see. I need to pick this up. Okay. Hello? Yeah. It's probably the one time I'll have to ever interrupt. It's only be 2 times, so I'm still recording this later on, but I'll have to interrupt a recording session and take a call. Anyway, so, any sort of hidden attribute system. Let's see. Why is there no... I don't want to hide it. I want to... Oh, well, I'm missing the S in show, hidden. I don't want to say how. Minus how. Screw how. I want to... No, I guess maybe not, because now it's not showing anything. Of course, show... How is part of show, so... Let's see. Hide, base, hide, damn it. Why does nobody... this? Okay, let's go parent property plus C#. What is going on? How do you use parent property and child class? Really? Okay, so what we want to do then is we want to add the control to the panel. I guess is what we want to do. So when we do this, we want to... Well, that's true. We didn't actually make the thing visible, did we? The control box, combo box. Well, that's a dur moment if I ever saw one. So I'll add a new thing here. It's, you know, add controls to PSE, this editor. So PS editor dot, was it contains control dot controls dot add. Okay, dot controls. And then add cbox vselect, and then go cbox vselect dot visible equals true. Okay, and then we need to do the opposite though on the other one here. So actually, that would be window change. Well, I don't. Let's do this. On form load instead. Of course, now what you have to do though is you have to I think any controls you want to make visible after the whatever the parent is that they're on gets enabled. So there. And then we'll also do false first now. Alright, so let's see how this works. No, still not, huh. I must be doing something wrong here. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of his video here. Okay, so equals true. Panel 1 visible equals true. Options. There used to be like a thing where you could speed up the video. I guess YouTube disabled it or something. Well, we'll just see what happens here. Okay, panel. That's my comment. Yeah, there's my comment. And that's it. Page 1. Oh well. Okay, now, so what he's doing is the actual controls are always visible. So actually we wouldn't need this. We're just making the panel itself invisible. So maybe we'd have multiple panels for each thing. Not specifically just, oops, I don't want that. What we don't want is that one. Now let's see, save. I don't get those. Why this is still not. I remember somewhere you could enable hidden properties. It's just nothing for that, is there? Maybe it was intended that you could do that, but you can't do it here in this one. I don't know. It seems ridiculous that they don't show it to you. You should be able to change it. Maybe it's in the actual hard code, which is annoying to go in and change, but. Oh, this is the, I'm also using a third-party bit of code for the INI import, because technically C# does not have the ability to import INI files. So actually, I found this on Stack Overflow. I forget the exact, I'll have to look it up for who actually made it, but make a note of it. But that's what I'm using for this. Works pretty well, though. Let's see. Here we go, this is it. With the designer generated code. So, components. Main menu, M file, MOP, MC, we want the combo box. Here. So the question is, so that's an example of how you have to go in there and sometimes edit the backend code for that to happen, because it doesn't show the property here, and I can't figure out how the hell to get it to be displayed. There's probably an option somewhere, but all we have is padding for P's. So let's see how this works now. Actually, I'm going to go back here real quick, and since we did that there, we're not going to use this here. So never mind that. Let's do the initialization component there. Alright, now, it still doesn't show up right. Or rather, the panel is not being displayed or hidden properly or something. Well, let's see what's happening. I'll just pop this in here. Okay, start. You know, that is the problem though, isn't it? I just realized. We have it backwards. I'm such a freaking idiot. This is when we want to go back to the main, so this is actually false. And this should be true. Alright, so that's the problem. Now, I'm betting we can also then go to cbox dot visible. So you always want to make sure you have the logic behind things correct. Wait, no, we want to go backwards on this one. You probably don't have to go backwards, but I just want to make sure that we do this properly. And hide them before we hide the panel. Alright, let's go and get rid of these breakpoints. Alright, save it, go. Boom, there you go. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now it's working. Sweet. So yeah, we can work on that based on that. And then also, that then will allow us to hide certain controls that we don't need to use. Now, it's still going to be kind of messy because we still have to use multiple controls. But what we'll do is we'll like work on the controls maybe over in here somewhere. We won't put anything down here until we're completely done with all this stuff. So, for example, here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead now and put in the controls to deal with the ship class stuff. So, what we'll do is first what we're going to do is we're going to go this and we're going to say on the events here, I want to say on selected index changed. We're going to say well, I'd like to put the name of the thing in here too. So cbox. Of course, it does make it a little more vselect underscore. I will say SIC. And that'll just add the thing down here for this. So I'll just put a. You can also do a triple hash to put in this kind of a thing, or just double hash for a normal comment. But in this case, so we're going to say handles changing S editor panel controls when combo box value changes. So, what we want to do now is we want to say we have this now. We want to detect what the value of it is. So, it does it on an indexed basis. So, in this case, the index for what we're looking for is for the ship value. So it's going to be the first non-default index. And what we want to do is I want to make a default. Well, default is -1, which is what the initial value is. So choose a whatever was value to pull from or whatever. 0 will be the first one. So we want to say if dot selected index equals 0, I believe. And I want to print out a message box to test to see if this works or not. Let's see. Can I range? Okay, now we have to do double equals. And then we're going to go, so message box. And we're going to use .show because that gives you more options. So null for the parent, because we just want it to be a free floating box. The message we'll say is, it works. The title for the window will be testing C box index select message box. Java Swing's method of handling message boxes is a lot sexier than this is. It's just MB underscore whatever the MBOK or something like that, instead of message box buttons. It's a little more to type out, but it works, I guess. Box icon dot asterisk, and then we'll just do that. So if it properly detects that this is what it is after it's been changed, so this is the event. The event is when it changes, and if it's changed to 0, this should then be displayed. So let's save it, run it, and have a look. Hey, it works. What do you know? So ship ID ranges. Okay, now what we want to do with this, I'll just leave this here and we'll comment it out, is we want to do a couple things. First, we want to load the data from SC names, S-type names, or is that? SC classes, yeah, SC names. Because we're going to use this as the basis for our the labels that we're going to put in. Because we're going to do this all kind of dynamically. So what we want to do is we want to go in here and we want to say now, we want to use this like what we have up here. So I'm just going to take this, we're going to copy it and paste it. Copy and paste is your friend in any programming language. Let's go and add that extra space there. Okay, so so we got the file name. That's going to be, that's set up here somewhere, I believe, or down here or somewhere. I don't know, where is it? Oh no, that's when we, that's from when we load the file. All right, so damn it. The annoying thing about C# is that the standard is that they want you to put all this stuff at the top, which is annoying, but we'll have to do that for now because that's how it's loading the things after it. So, that's in the namespace. Oops. My bad. I want to put it down here in the class, not in the namespace. Alright, and the reason I want to put this out here in the namespace is to define things globally. So we have ini file if. So whenever we load the file through the file load thing, that we can access from any other function in here. Now I'll probably change this and make this say _s. So this will be loaded settings file. And then we'll also make an ini, or no, it'll be a database file with it. So we'll use we'll just still do it like that because it'll make it a little bit more easier to understand. Make sure I change this to S. Alright, so same thing down here though, but we don't have to do this dialog open thing here. We just go to try. Actually, we can go KD or KF. Or maybe we just gotta select. Damn. This thing is so annoying. View, edits, advanced. I think all the okay, there we go. Yeah. No, there was a problem with the that's what it was. Problem with the the brackets, and so it wouldn't allow me to do it. Okay, there we go. So just doing all this stuff, just got him to try, and we do not need to do this because it's already going to be loaded. Last year we should. IO exception. Well, we'll just do this. Is that a string or is it a? That's a class system. Let's see. We can probably change that to a string. So I'm gonna go message box dot show null. The text will be IO exception dot damn. I want to catch an error and plus C#. Try catch invalid cast exception. Yeah, IO exception E. File not found exception. Okay, so let's do a file not found exception. So E dot to string and want to say so message box buttons dot okay, and message box icons or icon dot error. Now why doesn't E local see local named variable E? Oh, because it's already up here, so I'm gonna say error. Alright, now let's see what happens. So we're not going to load it or anything, we're just going to go over here and go boom. And unhandled exception, null reference exception. Alright, so in this case it was a null reference exception. Because this was not has not yet been. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so null reference exception. Error. File not found. Or file not. No. We'll say no. But then we'll also add another catch, and this one will be though file not found error, and we'll just name this one file not found. technically you shouldn't have this one come up at this